Hello everybody, it's white to play in this position. Please take your time and find the winning line for white. And while you're doing that, I will introduce you to today's topic. In this beautiful book, Under the Surface, Jan Marcos mentions that sometimes we should perceive our pawns or pieces as merely a piece of wood that is getting in the way of our other pieces. He asks us to change our perception in chess. Sometimes our own pawns or pieces can be just a hindrance of our other pieces. So in those moments, we should be willing to sacrifice a pawn or a piece to achieve our goal. This is the topic of today's video, and I'm doing it again. That's a multi-purpose episode, folks. I'm doing it, first of all, to give you beautiful puzzles, positional, tactical that we go over together. But also I'm doing it because I noticed that many players have a hard time sacrificing material in chess. It's difficult, right? As humans, we have this tendency to always cling on to our material, and it's difficult for us to sometimes just go for it, sacrifice a pawn or a piece to achieve beautiful harmony and coordination between our pieces. Okay, so this position, white to play, and I want you to perceive, first of all, that this king is almost in a mating net, and use your imagination. If only, right, this knight would be able to give a check on g7. That will be mate on the board, correct? What's the problem? Well, your own queen is a piece of wood that is getting in the way of your knight, right? Thus, what's the correct move for white? Queen g6 check. Beautiful. A very forcing move, and the queen is paving way for the knight to appear on g7 and its mate on the board. Isn't it lovely? Beautiful. Short calculation, mate in 2. But to be able to solve this problem, you should be able to visualize that g7 square. That will be lovely post for your knight, but your queen, your own piece, is in the way. Thus, this sacrifice came very naturally once you perceive your queen as a piece of wood. Let's apply this lesson to this position, folks. It's white to play. First things first, what's going on? Please see out your goal in this position, folks. Are you seeing what I'm seeing as well? White's pieces are perfectly posted on the f-file. Black needs time to consolidate. But the knight on c3 is a misplaced piece. So the logic is this. It would be lovely if my knight would join the action ASAP, so I don't give any time to black and I achieve my goal on the king side directly, right? The king is lonely. If we can get one more piece in the attack, it could collapse for black. Thus, which move appears to you as a beautiful candidate for white? Yes, this pawn on d5 is merely a piece of wood that is getting in the way of your knight, folks. And there's a forcing way, right? A very forcing way to pave the way for your knight. And now your knight will become a happy camper on d5. d6 is a beautiful clearance pawn sacrifice merely to be able to activate this knight on d5 with tempo. Beautiful positional pawn sacrifice. Knight d5, and suddenly, right, you understand. 3 pieces attacking, 1 piece defending, and black needs to lose more time with the queen. Thus, we don't give any time to black to consolidate the queen side. And here there are many ways for white, but I very much love this solution. Knight e8 tempo on the queen, right? We are hitting the queen again, and after this comes beautiful liquidation phase. At first sight, it's ridiculous. Why are we exchanging queens? Because we were attacking. But if you look one move deeper, you understand that this bishop is pinned and will be captured on the next move. White won because white did not give any time to black to consolidate with this beautiful, lovely positional pawn sacrifice, clearance sacrifice, d6 to pave the way for your knight. I love this example, folks, and I hope you like it as well. Sometimes the idea can also work in a multi-purpose context. It's black to play here, folks. Again, I want you to understand what's going on. Ask yourself basic questions. Where are your pieces located? What do you want to achieve in general in this pawn structure? And then please tell me one move that looks very logical for black. Folks, obviously our pieces are looking on the king side. We have this beautiful pawn chain pointing towards the king, white king. Thus, we are playing on the king side. That's correct. And you're a great player if you perceived this f3 candidate move as great for black for 2 reasons, right? You're forcefully creating weaknesses around the white king, and maybe more importantly, you're creating this f4 square for your knight. Your knight on h5 did nothing. He really wanted to go forward on f4, and that was a very forcing way for black to achieve the goal. Multi-purpose move, and after takes, knight f4, there is no way for white to hold the position anymore because this comes with tempo on the queen, and plus this threat queen g5, queen g2 mate, the game is over. For example, after this, queen g5 on the next move will decide the game. Lovely, right? Going back. If you didn't play f3, let's rotate the board. If you played queen g5, for example, folks, tell me what white will do in this position. Obviously, white will go f3 because white's claim is very simple. Black's f4 pawn is merely a piece of wood that is getting in the way of black's pieces. Thus, white freezes that f4 pawn with a push f3. Thus, black can no longer sacrifice the pawn. Thus, black's pieces are limited because of the pawn on f4. Lovely. So you might say this was a very, very timely pawn sacrifice for black. If black didn't play this move right now, white would have a completely equal position. Obviously, I have to show you position when it comes to the kings castling on opposite flanks. A very typical pattern in the middle games. And especially in those positions, you should be willing to perceive your stuff as merely a piece of wood that is getting in the way of your pieces. Right? Why? Because attack becomes very important. Timing becomes very important. In this position, tell me, which pawn is merely a piece of wood in white's position? Yes, folks, it's a pawn on g2. White would love to open up lines on the king side to activate the rooks to attack and mate the black king, right? Every single tempo is crucial in a position like this. Thus, a grandmaster in the actual game, he went g4, right? He doesn't mind. He says, please take my pawn, please. Which, well, happened in the actual game. Knight takes g4 and comes rook g1, right? Now you understand. In two moves, white made that rook a happy piece, and the black king is not feeling any safe right now. And after knight f6 comes a very strong move, queen e3, another forcing move, queen takes h6, becomes a huge threat because the pawn is pinned. And after king h8, can you find the decisive blow, folks? Please stop the video and find the winning continuation for white. Congratulations, rook takes g7, beautiful rook sacrifice. The idea is to make the black king naked, and after this, queen h6 check, queen h7 mate, the game is over. Isn't it lovely, folks? Just look at this sacrifice and how it connects to the initial pawn sacrifice. Many people would refuse to play moves like this because, oh, I don't want to give up a pawn. Look at the link. In a position like this, your pawn is not important. It's merely a hindrance, in fact. Hindrance against your rooks. Your idea should be to activate your rooks ASAP in this position. Plus, there's an h6 pawn, there's a hook pawn for white that will make it easier for white to push g5 and open up lines on the king side. Thus, g4 is a great, strategic and timely pawn move for white, and white won the game very, very easily from this position. I will leave you, folks, with this homework position. It's black to play, and white's last move was knight e2 to g3, okay? I want you to evaluate this position as a whole, and please come up with a good move for black. And explain your move to me in the comments on YouTube. Why did you engage in that move? What are your reasoning behind that move? And please let me know, do you want this to be turned into a series on YouTube? I can give you more of such examples to make it easier for you to sacrifice stuff to gain quality and coordination between your pieces, because that's what we are doing this. The reason I'm showing you these examples, folks, is to make it more easier for you to engage in sacrifices to gain coordination and quality between your pieces. I want to change your perception and your approach to chess. Chess is a beautiful game. It's so complex and yet so beautiful because of all these trade-offs between material, quality, and time. You can sacrifice material to increase your quality and your time advantage in chess, right? Those are three different dimensions, and the positions I'm just giving you in the series will drill those examples and will make you a much, much stronger player. Your judgment will improve, your evaluations will improve, and you will have better feeling about chess positions. If you want to explore more of such questions, please check my Chessable courses, The Art of Awakening Pieces and The Art of Burying Pieces. In those courses, I drill so many such examples that will make it easier for you to sacrifice stuff to gain quality and coordination between your pieces. If you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe, and I will produce more of similar educational content. The idea is to improve your chess understanding and make you a better player, folks. I'm here to support you in this journey fully. Thank you so much, and I will catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.